Alright, I'm Ryan, I'm on the Creative Futures project and I'm a game developer.
I'm Josh, and I am a musician composer.
Because I need help with programming and software development.
I signed up for the project because I thought it'd be a good opportunity to meet people in different fields. And as Ryan touched on, like getting advice and like mentorship and some sort of direction in terms of making work in the real world and working with other people in the real world. The game you're making is this fantasy adventure kind of game, right?
So it's an exploration-based game set in multiple sort of themes and genres, from sort of sci-fi all the way to sort of fantasy and cyberpunk, and it sort of explains the difference between different cultures, different environments of how you're brought up and how you see the world.
The game you're making, why did you want to make this type of game? What was your inspiration and your purpose behind?
It's because while I'm working with everyone else here, I've got such a different sort of mentality in mind towards everyone else. Whereas everyone else has got a very creative field, I've got a very sort of logical sort of background. So I like to explore the ideas and differences of why we sort of maybe come from sort of a completely different background and sort of how we approach different sort of scenarios depending on our personalities. Can you sort of elaborate on your project and what you're composing?
Okay. I didn't mention it. Yes, I'm really interested in like music, using music and composition and that sort of creation in like tandem with other art forms and stuff that maybe you'd never usually like tether music and composition along to. The main thing with my project is I'm sort of trying to make an archive of like materials all linked to like sound recordings and sort of physicalizing that archive, using that material to create some compositions that I can perform live in that space. So thinking about like music in a space and music in relation to physical objects, which I find quite exciting because I really like physical objects.
Oh, how was your showing?
That question was really natural, Ryan. Thank you for asking. It was good. It was nice to have the opportunity to actually like make some work and put it into a physical space and everything like that. And basically I did sort of like a version of the work as I want it to exist in its final form, just like a smaller version with like a few materials and stuff like that, but enough that people could kind of absorb themselves in this like archive of sounds and physical objects. It was nice to like actually observe people interacting with stuff you've made and seeing how they approach it, because I think for my project that's a big part of putting it together physically and how I like produce it physically and put it out there as a project. And it was useful to see how people interacted with the materials and quite informative to see how they acted around the materials and how they accessed them and what they did with them and then their reactions to it. And I was given a lot of like really useful advice and really useful opinions by everyone who came, and it gave me a lot more quite a lot of ideas that I hadn't thought of before as well, about like space and technical elements and things like that. How did you find yours?
Yeah, mine was really interesting. It was good sort of to be able to sit down in a, as you say, a very casual space and just show and explain the story of what I've been working on.
It was nice to see some of the visuals of the game as well.
Yeah.
Actually, like really impressive. Like a lot of those visuals were really exciting.
Yeah.
And also, actually, I think, I don't know about you, but just like getting an opportunity to practice talking about your work in like a semi-public sphere, where like it's kind of a safer space where you can like you know talk about your work and practice that process, because I often find it quite daunting.
Yeah, I learned a lot from it. It's the first time I ever had a proper sort of showing like that.
Yeah. We've been to a lot of workshops, out and about in different creative communities in the city. A lot of workshops at Paper Arts, which I found really cool.
Yeah, we had one on social media.
Yeah, the one I found really useful was the one about like gaining like clarity and confidence and calm. I think that was the name of the workshop, maybe even.
I think so.
And I found that one useful just because like I find it quite hard. I don't know about you, but I find it quite hard to like organise my time and workload like efficiently and effectively. And I found it was actually like really quite an empowering workshop. I found just being able to like follow easy steps to working more efficiently and balancing that with everything else in my life, because you know we all do other things, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
There have been a lot of talks as well. Again, at Paper Arts, like with people involved in like really drastically different disciplines, which I found really cool. Just like because I find like hearing about how people approach their work and how they approach like creating, if they're in a different field, I find it quite informative to try and apply that to my way of working. So that's been really cool, like being able to be in contact through these workshops with people who are doing different things and making things in different mediums. Which in turn has like led to accessing like different ideas that I never really considered.
Yeah, definitely. Different ways of looking at things.
Yeah.
It's really important.
And Rising Arts as well, which has been great, who are like providing mentorship for us and stuff. It's been great to like meet people through that and just like meet a variety of people in different art forms, but also people who are in my art form and doing basically what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
And it's been like great to access
their knowledge.
Yeah, then their wealth of knowledge and their wealth of experience in like the act, like actually doing it as like a day job. Like, sort of. What are your plans then? In the coming few months?
I'm gonna take some sort of more advanced steps on how to get into the industry, sort of start cutting corners and just go straight into the work that I want to be doing.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah, to go straight into it.
Nice.
About you?
Yeah, just like working towards the final project that I'm working on, which is cool. I quite like being able to have a deadline and like work towards that, which is great, and quite excited to put work in the public sphere. I'm looking forward to engaging in some more of the workshops that like I've been helping to put on with Emma, who's also part of our Creative Futures cohort, and develop that idea so that like we can try and do more of those workshops once this scheme's finished.